There are 699 days to go until a midterm election where maybe the Democratic Party will regain some power to put a check on Donald Trump and his toxic clown show that he's assembling, that by then will have lit many fires, burned many institutions, and done unspeakable damage to the American government, shattering the Department of Defense, the Department of Justice, and the public health agencies. This is the warning. The truth is, there will be little that Democrats and organized opposition can do about any of it, but they can stop the worst of it. Here's MAGA Cheryl hawking her products while her husband, Robert, showers behind her.
No, you can't take a shower. I'm doing a video. No, you gotta give me a second. I'm doing a video for Heinz and Young. Okay, honey, this is 60% off.
Do these people have no sense of propriety, dignity at any conceivable level? None? They're filthy and they're low. Scuzzy doesn't begin to describe it. And so, Cheryl, I appreciate you're on a sitcom and all, but here's the deal. Your husband's been nominated to a Senate confirmed position, and I appreciate a lot of people think you're a nice lady in Hollywood, but stop hawking your shit to the American people. It is an abuse of power. Obviously, no one has explained it to you. So maybe a reading of the ethics manual would be appropriate as your husband gets ready to bring back polio into America, along with his buddy, Make America Great Again honcho, Bill Ackman, who among his many expertises now, apparently, is vaccines. Surprise. He's skeptical of them. But everywhere you look, there's worse. Yes, Robert Kennedy in the shower deserves laughter and mockery, and he will absolutely get a lot of Americans killed, like he got children killed in Samoa. But that's a different story. Today, let's talk about civil rights, civil liberties, and abuse by the federal police agency of Americans' God-given rights. Let's listen to what Kash Patel said to Steve Bannon back in the days when he was just going to run the CIA.
We will go out and find the conspirators, not just in government, but in the media. Yes, we're going to come after the people in the media who lied about American citizens, who helped Joe Biden rig presidential elections. We're going to come after you. Whether it's criminally or civilly, we'll figure that out. But yeah, we're putting you all on notice.
I would take him seriously. Who is this guy, by the way? Is he qualified to run the FBI? Amazingly, he's not. His only qualification is he's a Trump sycophant, who Trump obviously admires for his go-to-itiveness with the merchandise. Cash money, baby. Let's watch. Let's see all this shit that he's hawking.
My name is Kash Patel, and I have written the first ever children's Russiagate book. It's called The Plot Against the King. It is a fantastical telling by me, the Russiagate chief investigator under then Chairman Nunes, of how we triumphed to put truth over evil and report the facts to the American public. Please go to the link below and order your copy today.
Donald Trump has nominated this man for three purposes. One, because this man will spy on Donald Trump's domestic political opponents as enemies. He'll do whatever Donald Trump tells him. Two, this man will burn down the FBI as an institution. He will take it apart down to the studs.
I'd shut down the FBI Hoover building on day one and reopening the next day as a museum of the deep state. And I'd take the 7,000 employees that work in that building and send them across America to chase down criminals. Go be cops. You're cops. Go be cops. Go chase down murderers and rapists and drug dealers and violent offenders. What do you need 7,000 people there for? Same thing with DOJ. What are all these people doing here?
Does the nation need an FBI? It does. Is this man fit to lead the FBI? He is not. Is this man a threat to civil liberties? He absolutely is. And we know this, again, because he's told us he will use his power to pursue, to lock up, persecute, and prosecute Donald Trump's political opponents. He's going to turn the federal police into Donald Trump's secret police if, again, Republican senators let him. So Kash Patel, along with Matt Gaetz and Pete Hegseth, is utterly, absolutely, wildly unfit for the job, cannot be confirmed. And every senator, all of them, who think about voting for this, should go through a mental exercise. They should close their eyes and breathe in deeply, half breath, maybe take in another one after that, and they should visualize the planes smashing into the towers. They should visualize 20,000 dead Americans. They should visualize the ending of their political careers, along with the inquiry that follows, the next version of the 9/11 Commission, when the incompetency, the venality, and the politicization of the FBI is laid bare, and the American people can appreciate why so many of them and their loved ones are dead because of a failure that will make the 9/11 failure look like child's play. That's the price of Kash Patel. The other price of Kash Patel is the price of abuse, the price of a federal secret police operating in rogue fashion at the direction of the president to target, well, people like me who spoke out. There are no words. Can you imagine that you're an FBI agent serving your nation, involved in your community, and this guy is going to be the director? It's shameful. And yes, there are people who should never have had this job in the past. Two of their names are J. Edgar Hoover and James Comey. But you don't fix what James Comey did or broke by burning down an institution that's needed in a moment of growing danger around the world, where Washington, D.C. is infiltrated by hostile foreign powers, spies everywhere, and a culture of congressional corruption that is the worst it has been in this country since at least the 1920s. The FBI is a necessary institution, and no president has come into office and just fired the FBI director willy-nilly for partisan reasons in the middle of their 10-year term. The FBI director should be above politics. Donald Trump has made it clear the FBI will be a political weapon, and whatever reforms are needed there, burning it to the ground shouldn't be on the list. Donald Trump's cabinet is filled with a menagerie of reckless, predatory, unqualified loons. And the founders of the country made it clear that though the president should have the prerogative to pick his cabinet, he needs a little help. He needs the advice and the consent of the United States Senate. And they have to send him some advice by denying their consent for the elevation of the most ludicrously, dangerously unfit group of people that any American president has ever forwarded and said, you should have powers of life and death under my administration over the American people. It speaks to the craziness to come, to Trump's utter lack of judgment and the malice that he had, that has been building, that has been growing hotter for 4 long, rage-filled years in the wilderness. At the noon hour on January 20th, Donald Trump will be restored to power. And one of the most dangerous, chaotic eras in American history will be underway. The country will be transformed within 4 years' time, and the world will be profoundly more dangerous. In the meantime, the opposition party is comatose, poorly led, inarticulate, flat on its back. These will be hard and trying days, but we will persevere because Americans always do. Do not be afraid. Do not be intimidated. Instead, get ready to be engaged, to fight back, and do not be discouraged by the fact that a small group of people clung to power that didn't belong to them and handed it to Donald Trump. Instead, be resolved to recommit to a citizenship that holds as its first principle that the politicians, they work for us, not the other way around. What will come after this era is reform and renewal, but not until we start imagining it. And the imagination needs to start with how do we make it better, not how we burn down Trump. He'll do that all on his own. While we wait for it to happen, what we have to worry about is his cronies burning down the country. And that we must stop. This is The Warning. I'm Steve Schmidt. This is The Warning. And I invite you to subscribe on our Substack, on our YouTube channel. Follow us. Welcome to the community.